Mindset Go, and today we're actually going to be talking about a little bit of everything, kind of, sort of.
What is Mindset Go?
That's a good question.
What is Mindset Go? You want me to explain it or you want to explain it?
I'm going to explain it.
Okay.
Mindset is just simply the habits and the things and the patterns in which that you create. A lot of times we create habits and we think it doesn't affect us, and we find ourselves actually doing those things. For me, I know for a bad habit, which actually kind of produced my mindset, wake up and I'm on Facebook and looking at tweets and things like that.
I think we all been there. Well, not all of us. Maybe there's some people out there that's really disciplined and super spiritual. And maybe they don't wake up in the morning and jump on Facebook. But I know for a large portion of America and of the world, you are plugged into the matrix.
You are kind of plugged into the matrix. And the goal for Mindset Go is really to kind of unplug you out of the matrix, at least to kind of set yourself up for entrepreneurship, really building a stronger marriage, stronger relationships,
stronger friendships, stronger in every area of your life. We are here to help you as we help ourselves and we help the world change our mindset so that you can be all that you can be. And I guarantee you, if you keep watching and you keep listening, you will have a new mindset and you will have a different way of thinking.
Because wherever your mindset is, there you will go. Thereby, Mindset Go. So, it is the top of the year. So, really, top of the year, everybody starts setting goals. People want to lose weight.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, I don't want to lose weight, trying to gain. I don't want to, disappear,
Disappear.
So, a lot of people set goals, and what we're actually doing, generally we write down what we want to do, but we thought this year we'd do a little something different. And so what we did is created a vision board. And this vision board, all we did was went online, found pictures of stuff that we like to see us doing, going, how we would like to see our bodies change, and we took all those clippings and post them on the board. And that actual board is like right by our bed, so when we wake up, that's the first thing that we see. When we go to bed, it's the last thing that we see. So it stays before us, so we actually creating a new mindset even with that, doing that.
And that's good because even while I was at the gym today, of course, like millions of other women, their New Year goal is to lose weight. And so because it's not a goal of mine, since I have been trying to lose weight for like 10 years now. And so but this year is different. This year I have a different mindset going into it. This year I'm not trying to lose weight. I had to change my mindset and say, okay, what is it that athletic person do on a regular basis in order to maintain their body? And so now my mindset is, how do I maintain this? Because I gotta show you guys my picture on my vision board. My picture is basically a girl who runs track, and then I posted my face on her body. and so it's funny because that's the way my body at one time looked, and so I know that it can be like that again. And so my desire is to change my mindset to be not losing weight, but how do I maintain this physically fit body that in my mind I already have.
Right. And a lot of people, what about the people who say, well, habits die hard, it's kind of, you got this routine. I mean, how can you break out of that though?
Well, I have to constantly read, watch things that people who are fit will watch, eat things okay, you have to put it like this. you have to put your mindset as if you're already there and then work backwards. That's kind of like how you have to approach it.
Exactly, and that's kind of what the vision board is. We want, in one of our businesses, we want to move into a building. So there's pictures of how we want to see the building look. And so you guys kind of work backwards from that.
Right. So if we can do anything if you're going to walk away with anything today, it will be how to live backwards.
But backwards is like the new forward, right?
Yeah, backwards like the new forward. So we're going to teach you how to live backwards so that you can accomplish the goals that you have set forth in your personal life and in your business life.
Mm-hmm.
So, first thing.
What's the first thing?
First thing.
First things first.
First things first. We have a couple of businesses right now that we have set goals for.
Mm-hmm.
I have a company called Campus Tax and Financial Aid Services.
Why, Ty? What is Campus Tax Financial Aid Service?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Chris. Campus Tax and Financial Aid Services is a tax preparation company that serves the over 9+ million college students in America. And basically, the added value to Campus Tax is that not only are you going to receive your taxes for one low flat rate, which is usually about $50 or less, but you also receive financial aid assistance, scholarship essay review, and then...
That could be very helpful right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
On top of that, you receive a FAFSA. You guys know about that financial aid application, right?
If you're in college, you know about FAFSA.
Yeah, you know about FAFSA.
Sign up for that, boy.
You know about it. Every year, you filling out a FAFSA application online. Well, FAFSA we have a worksheet that we give you that will help you fill out the FAFSA form. Mm-hmm. So this business model has blown up to this huge idea. It came from an idea from when I was in college to just help students and try to help as many students graduate with as little to no debt as possible. And as a result, more and more students started, telling other students about it. Next thing you know, I'm like talking to hundreds of students about Campus Tax. And that idea was just birthed from there. It was birthed from a need. And now this need is being fulfilled in dozens of colleges and soon thousands of colleges all across America. So the goal for Campus Tax for this tax season is to penetrate 6 colleges. I mean, we're going to go in there with heavy artillery. We're going in there with marketing campaign, campus reps, flyers, online ads. I mean, we're targeting these schools like nobody's business. And I'm going to tell you, the effort that you put in it, plus the preparation, plus the opportunity, will guarantee success every time. You want me to say that again?
Yeah, well, what did you say?
I don't remember. But it's something about preparation meets opportunity plus something else will equal guaranteed success every time. Okay?
But you gotta know the formula though.
I know the formula. I operate in the formula.
What's the formula?
Okay. The formula is preparation plus opportunity plus I say you probably should throw a little faith in there. You should throw a little faith in there. So I should say faith plus preparation plus opportunity.
I mean, faith has to be a part of the ingredient because anything you do in business, you're kind of stepping out without really fully knowing everything that's going on. You may just have an idea, just like Campus Tax, which just really started from an idea.
A need, an unmet need.
Right. And from that, you had to step out and say, maybe this is a business,
I did, and it was something that a lot of people said, well, maybe it's just a lifestyle business. Well, lifestyle business is basically, something that people do on the side to just earn a little, a couple of $100, couple of $1,000 here.
Right, which is there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. But I see this as being the next H&R Block or the next Liberty Tax or the next Jackson Hewitt. Whereas there is a campus tax on every college campus in America.
Mm-hmm.
And how am I going to do that?
Right.
I can't do it alone. I have a team of people who believe the same way I believe. And then every time I tell this story to people, it ignites them and makes them want to be a part of it. Well, maybe you want to be a part of it, and that's fine. You can email me at twoods@campustax.com and I'll talk to you.
Shameless plug. Go ahead.
Shameless plug.
So what are some of the other stuff we're doing? Okay, you got campus tax, and what are some other stuff?
Well, we have an Opportunity Knocks. Okay, 7 years ago we founded Opportunity Knocks from another thing called an unmet need.
Mm-hmm.
In this community, we have dozens or hundreds of kids that are just talented for no reason. They're just talented. Their parents are not talented, but they are. So that's how they ended up.
Well, some parents are talented. They just never really had the opportunity or the opportunity, and so now we kind of give the kids that, opportunity.
Yeah, I have the majority of my students, their parents have no artistic abilities at all. They don't even know how their kids got it. That's just one of those, and I think I'm one of those type of peoples too. I don't know types of peoples. I said I'm a type of people. How am I a type of people? Well, okay.
Good thing you're focusing on business and not English and grammar.
Thank God this is not an English course. But it was founded from an unmet need, and then it just grew. Mm-hmm. We were prepared.
Right.
We were prepared because we had the tools and knowledge to scale a business.
I mean, you got to think about too. In most businesses that start off, you are the core of that business.
Right.
And you have the tools on the inside to really set up that business. A lot of times we get in fear. We don't want to step out. How's this going to work? Who's going to help me?
How am I going to pay my bills?
How am I going to pay my bills? Because, I mean, there is that conflict, because if you're working a 9 to 5, a job, just over broke, you got to pay your bills, and then you still kind of want to do your business.
Wait a minute. Rewind that. What's a job?
It's a just over broke.
Just over broke.
You barely getting by.
Just over broke. Wow.
And we are really entrepreneurs. We've quit jobs to fulfill what we believe we're supposed to be
Some
doing.
of us have been fired. But nevertheless.
Not me. Never been fired.
Nevertheless, it propelled us into entrepreneurship. Now, it doesn't matter if you've been fired or if you've been laid off or if you just
Sometimes you being fired is really kind of like a push.
It's like a blessing in disguise.
Right. It may not look like it at the time. And it helps you kind of, sort of say, walk on the water. You're doing something that you really have no clue how you're going to do it, and you're supported just on the faith and the know-how. It's that preparation, meet opportunity, setting you up for success.
Right. The opportunity for me came when I was fired, and it's just one of those things that, you don't understand why. You're a good worker, everything was right, but yet it was still not enough.
You don't fit. You don't fit in their corporate plan, and
right.
And in that you realize maybe I am the corporation, and not the corporation needs me. Maybe I need to be that corporation for other people.
Right. That's what it was for me. I realized that
that's my mindset. Go ahead.
At some point, the corporation model that I kept trying to plug myself into, my peg wasn't fitting.
Right.
In any of those Jenga puzzles. It just wasn't fitting. I'm a circle and they're squares. And the whole building is a square. And I'm trying to fit my circle into this structure. And it just wasn't working until I created my own structure. Mm-hmm. And now I have a corporate culture that fits my personality and that fits the way that I thrive and succeed in business.
And a part of that is finding people, or kind of believing that people with your like mind or your like success pattern are going to gravitate to what you're doing, because that's part of your success. Those people, those individuals that are going to be really kind of set up to be called to your business model or what you say you want to do.
Right. So back to Opportunity Knocks, we just actually stepped out and used our apartment complex.
Use what you have.
At that time, we were living in a 2-bedroom apartment complex, and all we know is that we wanted to teach kids the arts. That's it. You might have an idea. You just might say, well, I want to plan a party. I want to become an event planner.
Oh, that's a good one.
I want to become an event planner. Well, start with your cousin's birthday party.
Right. And then what you do is, after you do your successful cousin's birthday party, you get a letter of reference. Say, hey, this person did this job and they did it with quality. They was on time. That's a good thing. Always be on time, be early. So they did it on time. So I'm still working on that. But when you have that and you say, hey, give me three references from that same person. That person gives you 3 references of people that might need your services and or could recommend you for the next time. Guess what? Now you're on that path to creating that business.
And another thing, who's at birthday parties? Well, other people that's going to have a birthday party.
Exactly. They got kids.
So you might...
They got birthdays.
Exactly. So we're actually telling you right now how to scale your event planning business. If you have an idea...
Right.
If you have an idea, start where you are. You don't need a building. You don't need a corporate...
Nowadays, your business can be global simply the fact that you have a website.
Yeah.
Get a website, Twitter, Facebook page, and those tools can make you global right in your apartment, right in your home, right in your basement, wherever you're at.
Right. And that's a good point. What makes you global is that website. That website. Now, you might say, I don't have $500 to get my website built by a graphic designer. You might not have, that much money to get your website started, but there are places like Weebly or Wix.com, places that have templates that's already, all you have to do is plug the information
Now
in.
get a good template if you do that, because
make sure the template looks nice.
Because you want your company to represent where you're going, not where you're currently at.
Right, and I've seen some really bad websites.
Terrible.
And actually, to be honest, your website is a reflection of your personality and your business. And if your website looks trashy and junky,
that's
and
kind of what people
unprofessional,
right?
They're gonna think that's the reflection of your business.
Just because you may at the time be a one-man corporation, one-man entity.
Who needs to know that?
Nobody needs to know that your business is a one-man operation. Your business needs to reflect, again, where you're going, not where you're currently at.
Right. Work your way backwards. How do you see your company? Do you see yourself hiring 5 people to plan parties for you?
Right.
Do you see yourself having multiple locations across the country? Do you see yourself having a huge headquarters where everybody's working out of, and you have 200, 300 employees working out of that huge headquarters? What do you see? And if you don't see anything yet, stay where you are until you start seeing something.
I would just take time. Remember, you have to put that preparation in. So take the time, read books. There's books on business and starting businesses. A book that changed my life.
Do you have a recommendation?
A book that changed my life was Cash Flow Quadrants by Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh yeah, that's a good book.
I mean, that took me from being an employee, having an employee mindset, to moving over to a B and an I, which is a business owner and investor.
And I also recommend Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. He's a great he's a great author in business. And so if you want to just Google Robert Kiyosaki
himself, no, but go ahead.
Right. We're not getting a percentage of sales from his books, but we're fans of his books. And also we are true fans of Napoleon Hill. This book is probably about 70 years old.
Yeah.
70 years old.
Yeah. It's pretty
Yeah.
old.
Google Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, you can find copies. It's been revised so many times, but
Right.
the information is still relevant to this day. You can even Google. You'll find old clips of Napoleon Hill
On
actually
YouTube.
teaching, his principles, and those principles are still relevant.
Right. The 12 Principles of Success. I mean, he has some. This is back in the times when TV was black and white. And they have the clippings on YouTube.
TV was black and white at one point?
Yeah, TV was black and white.
Before my time. Go ahead.
Way before my time, too. But for me, I know that it's important it's important for me to look professional and my business to be professional. So if you want a website that's of high quality.
I do websites too, but go ahead.
Chris Woods Media, plug.
Shameless plug.
ChrisWoodsMedia.com. His company have a group of freelance graphic designers and audio engineers and photographers and
film
video
people.
production and anything that is media related. ChrisWoodsMedia.com has it.
Oh, thank you for that shameless plug. Go ahead.
I figured since I did a campus tax plug, CampusTax.com plug, I figured we could do a ChrisWoodsMedia.com.
I really appreciate that. What about those people who may have an idea, they have the mindset, and they're trying to start their business, but they don't know whether or not that business should be a for-profit or a non-profit?
Well,
because we have a non-profit and we have for-profit businesses. Right. So how can you make that determination which is which?
Okay, that's a really good question because I get that question as a consultant a lot. Actually, almost every single one of my clients start their business off as a for-profit or a non-profit, and I end up changing it somehow because they didn't understand what it means to be a non-profit and for-profit. Basically, this is what differentiates a non-profit and a for-profit. The profits. Where do you want the profits to go at the end of the day? Do you want it to go back into the business, or do you want it to go into your pocket? Is it going to benefit a greater cause, or is it benefiting shareholders? Shareholders could just be you, or it could be a group of people that invested in your business.
Right.
That's what shareholders are. Now, if you want your business to take on a facet where you do not necessarily see yourself taking money out of that business, but you really want to do the greater good with the money, I suggest
the greater good. Yeah.
I suggest that you start a nonprofit. Now, there are companies that are greater good type of companies that are for profit. For example,
you go ahead. Like who? That's what I was going to ask.
For example, Kaplan.
What's Kaplan?
Kaplan, the education group.
Okay.
They provide tutoring services for students. You have to pay a fee, and but they're a for-profit company, and that company is doing very well helping people learn how to read and math. Now, you might say, well, that's what I want to do. I want to help people, but I want to still make money. Well, this is how this is what I suggest. Now, disclaimer, this is just a suggestion and not a command.
It's not thus saith Ty Wood.
Do it at your own risk. And if you want me to consult you on your specific situation, just feel free to email me or go to my other website called runyournonprofit.org. And there's a lot of information on that.
Okay.
A lot of information on nonprofits on that website. runyournonprofit.org. Okay.
No,
So let me answer the question, because I heard her say it. I heard her ask me that.
I want him right there. Go ahead.
No, I'm talking about her.
Oh, okay.
Now she asked me, how can I do the greater good and still make money? Okay. When you have a non-profit organization, you are not concerned about taking the money for yourself. However, you can receive a salary.
Oh, so that really is kind of like the person who believes, if I start this nonprofit, then I'm going to be broke.
Right.
I'm gonna be right back in my current situation and working.
A nonprofit does not mean no profits. Let me say that again. A nonprofit does not mean no profits. There are very few companies, huge nonprofits that are currently in the red. There have been, and actually I can think of one right now, the American Cancer Society. They make profits every year. That profit is rolled into the next year, and then the greater good can be served. So this is how you do it. You roll the profits into the next year. You expand your programming, or don't expand your administrative fees. Don't expand your CEO
So what
salaries.
you're saying is, as my nonprofit grow bigger, I shouldn't go out there and get the new Porsche?
No, what I'm saying is, number one, as your nonprofit gets bigger, your salary as the CEO needs to be commensurate, needs to be in comparison to other nonprofits your size. Now, if you are a nonprofit and you have received $100,000 in revenue and grants that year, your salary should not be $70,000.
Exactly. Because that only leaves
30%, 30,000
left for the operation
for programming. That's not going to make any sense to the IRS either. To the IRS. Now, a rule, we just general rule of thumb, 33% or 35% is on the high end for overhead cost. So when you start getting over 35% of your revenue going to overhead, it starts to look very bad for the organization.
Right.
And it doesn't really look well for the IRS either, because basically these grants that's coming in or donations coming in, it's just really going to fund your pocket.
Yeah.
And that doesn't look good at all. And the IRS is cracking down on that kind of stuff too. So just be careful.
And I think even with the nonprofit side, in your administration, even in a for-profit, your business should be growing.
Right.
And
your nonprofit should be growing, just like a for-profit business.
Right. And if you're at a point where you're doing your business, your personal is more lavish than your actual business, I think something's a little twisted in that.
What do you mean?
For example,
break it on down for
break it on down. Let's say you have a jet, but yet your corporation is still like a mom and pop's.
A jet?
Yeah.
Who go around with jets?
People have private jets.
I know people have private jets, but I'm like, these people? Do you have a private jet?
Remember.
Told you.
Backwards is the new forward.
He said no.
Backwards is the new forward.
Backwards is the new forward.
You gotta change your mindset.
Backwards is the new forward. Okay. Let's give a more realistic example.
Okay, let's go back to the Porsche. Let's say that person has a Porsche, and I guess
did they buy their Porsche with their money before they started the nonprofit, or they bought the Porsche since they had the nonprofit?
Since they had the nonprofit,
and
but you only servicing, let's say
10 kids.
Yeah, your community service is really on the low end.
Wow. You know what? If you're doing that, be careful. Beware. The IRS is coming to get you.
3 people you don't play with.
3 people.
The R and the S.
No. Do not play with Iris. Do not play with Iris. Iris don't like it when people use their tax-exempt status to benefit themselves. Mm-hmm. And, quite frankly, I don't like it either. We get grants. We've gotten grants. We have received grants for Opportunity Knocks. And the only person that has received the salary is the person who does development. Mm-hmm. Now, everybody else, and in the beginning, you are going to work for free. You're going to work for free.
I think that's with any business as you're starting off. If you want it to be successful, you should take that money. And yes, you should, take something, especially if it's a for-profit, you should take something and learn how to pay yourself in the process. But when developing a business, you want to take that money and reinvest it in that business so that it grows.
Right. You don't want to take the first year's profit and go and buy a brand new house with that.
Woo, I'm doing good.
No. Use that, reinvest in the business, make that money grow, and then you start duplicating, the business until the business starts paying you. Number one, you're getting a salary, and then at the end of the year, you have your profit sharing, your profits or your dividends paid out to the shareholders, and you might be the only shareholder. But you have to learn how to control yourself.
Let's go back to the mindset and creating new habits.
Right. You have to. Because at the end of the day, if all of your money is going to pay a lavish lifestyle, if all of the money from your business is going to pay a lavish lifestyle, if your business hit a rough spot, you would have no emergency savings to bail you out of any tight situation. That's impersonal too. In your personal life, you should have money put aside at least 6 months for 6 months. But if you don't have 6 months, just start with a month. Start with 2 weeks.
Just start where you're at and grow it.
Right. Start where you are, and then start saving for in the event you need something. Like, for example, perfect example. I have an aunt who had a restaurant, and she was incurring a lot of expenses from equipment. And in restaurants, equipment is very expensive. I'm talking about those ovens and freezers and they're very expensive. But eventually, cash flow became a problem because if you don't know how to take the money that you've received and reinvest it appropriately, you'll find yourself out of business. And it's not because it's a bad business, because I think she had a great business. But when you find yourself struggling in your business, something is not right. You have to go back to the drawing board and find out exactly where did you miss the opportunity, or what preparation did you miss. Or is it faith? Is it that you just don't believe in yourself?
Because it goes back, your mindset is where you're going to go, and what you believe, it will follow. Those actions will truly follow. So if you believe you're going to be successful, then you need to change your mindset. And as you're doing that, and as you're moving towards that, the success will come. Are we saying, hey, you shouldn't have a lavish lifestyle and stuff like that? No, we're just saying it needs to be in scale of what you're currently doing. You should not be bigger than your business is.
That's a really good statement. That your personal life should not look bigger than your business. Your business should be bigger than your personal life. That keeps the balance. That keeps the balance, proportion.
Yep.
That makes you smart.
It does, because it's like having a cap for you. your business is your cap so that you don't go above your business.
I think that's the problem with America today.
Well, we in the microwave society, and we that's a good point. You know, everything is excess. We need this. We want to have it when we want to have it, and we need to learn how to discipline ourselves. That's one thing.
Delay gratification.
Woo, that's a big one right there.
Woo.
I mean, that's something that even in our own personal life, we're working on disciplining ourselves.
Delay gratification.
A disciplined life leads to success, plain and simple.
Yeah. Discipline is a tool that is used to not only bring forth success, but it also helps strengthen your character.
Yeah, because you won't have to say, "Oh, I'm humble. I'm humble." No, people will know you're humble. That's one of my pet peeves.
How you go around telling people you humble? Something not right with this picture.
That's one of my pet peeves. People say, "I'm so humble."
I'm so humble. I'm just so humble.
Thank you for that. I'm so humbled. No.
Are you really? Are you really?
And so with this current episode, we really just want to open up and just really get you going on your business, on your mindset, on your ideas, because any idea can really become a business. Any idea can potentially make you money if you work it and you work it right.
You see how legislature made selling marijuana a business.
Oh, brother.
I think it was I think Snoop Dogg was behind this.
I did see him at the White House. Took a picture with
Obama. Mm-hmm. I think what happened was Snoop Dogg was like, "Yo, we need to make marijuana legal so it can be a business and I can own a business that I believe in." and finally, who was the first? What was the first state? Was it California? I think California was the first state to make it legal.
That's y'all California.
California. So it took somebody. I mean, this is now a business. Marijuana sales is now a business.
And it's always been a business.
It's always been a business. Now it's becoming a legal business. So don't give up on your dreams. Oh, you dope dealers! I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I really want you to take your legal ideas, write them down on paper, and start scratching out the ones that you can't start today.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. Just write down your ideas.
That's your homework. Until next week.
Write down your ideas. Scratch out the ones that you can't do immediately. The ones you can do immediately, start immediately. And take time. Do a vision board. It'll help you. And until next time.
Mindset Go.